We gonna get it cracking. All right, so we gonna try to cover a lot of ground. So basically, I gotta, a little ways before I get home. So I decided to start this a little bit earlier. You know what I'm saying? Because I wanted to get more time in to have some discussions about what's going on in boxing. And basically, I'm about to ether these dudes, and as usual, these fake content creators, the Spence Brigade, is exposed again. But then again, I've been exposed them on their fraudulent, so now I can't wait to see what these fake panels, and I don't even listen to them because I already know they gonna say the same stuff. They gonna continue to lie and make up stuff, and at the end of the day, this basically destroy what little credibility that they have left. They're laughable now. They're, you know what I'm saying? They're pathetic. They're bottom feeders. So like I said, I like doing this to them because it's fun. And like I said before, I don't need to do no debates and none of that stuff. I know people like it when I come on other people's channels, and the only person I really mess with, shout out to my boy World Comeback Sports, out of the ATL. It's looking like I will be in Atlanta next month. Oh, and Aubrey, you better pull up next time. I came to your city last time, bro. You didn't pull up, bro, so you gotta pull up this time, bro. But yeah, it's looking like I'll be in Atlanta to cover the Adrian Broner Lundy fight, and I'm gonna get to that in a minute. I can't wait to like dudes out water again because it's fun. But then some of them start the white flag, you know what I'm saying? Because they running out of excuses, they running out of caps, they running out of spins. But it's gonna be some that's gonna, protect their eyes at all costs, no matter what, and act like they know what they talking about. So I mean, at the end of the day, you can listen to these dudes with these rooster beards, these froghorn, leghorn looking dudes. They just hilarious now. Like I said before, I'm gonna keep exposing the Spence Brigade because, like I said, it's fun and it's easy to pick them apart. For real. You know what I'm saying? I'll break them down like Floyd used to break them down, man. I break them down to the very last compound because it's easy. I told you I'm T Grizzly with this, man. I do this with no effort, man. But that's what happens when you listen to these dudes that don't know what they talking about. But I'm really happy because at first I wasn't even really, anybody that know me, I wasn't really checking for this fight at first. But they talked me into it. They got me to have interest in this fight. So now it appears that Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis, the contracts have been signed. So we have a fight April 15th, Las Vegas. Have no idea what arena it's gonna be at. I'm pretty sure my boy Vegas Mark will find out. I have no idea, but it will be in Las Vegas. This fight is gonna sell out. It's gonna be rocking. And I just want to say, and this is just real talk, you know what I'm saying? Everybody loves the battle between the black and the brown. Let's just keep it boxing. At the end of the day, may the best man win. Let's just keep it boxing and just leave it at that. Ryan Garcia, I had Ryan Garcia on my show a while back. So let's just keep it boxing. Nothing personal. May the best man win. You know what I'm saying? And if you plan on attending the fight, no matter who wins, just, you know what I'm saying? You can talk a little trash, but no need to get physical, none of that stuff. Because at the end of the day, it's a boxing match. But like I said, they sold me on this fight. Because like I said, I have to admit, I wasn't checking for this because, to be honest with you, Ryan Garcia really, you got to keep it a buck. He really haven't done nothing to get a fight with Tank. But at the end of the day, Ryan Garcia has a lot of Twitter followers. Tank is very popular. He sells tickets. So Las Vegas is going to be rocking August the 5th. It's going to be rocking. April the 15th. My bad. It's going to be rocking April the 15th. Do not book your plane tickets for August the 15th. The fight is going to take place April the 15th in Las Vegas. I have no idea what arena is going to take place at. It's either going to be at the MGM Grand or the T-Mobile Arena. Probably going to be at T-Mobile because I know Ryan, I think, has fought there before. I think on a couple of Canelo undercards, if I'm not mistaken. So probably going to be at T-Mobile. God willing, I'll be there, hopefully. So, you know, I'm definitely gonna try to pull up and cover that fight. So it's gonna be very interesting. Like I said, they got the contract signed. So we'll get to the contract talk later on. Cause like I said, I'm finna have some fun. Like I said, I'm finna have some fun. You know, I'm about to become the Undertaker. Like I said, it's fun. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's fun, like digging a ditch for some of these content creators. Like I said, I don't expose them, they expose themselves. So they can, I know tomorrow, you know, these people gonna have their panels lying as usual, making up stuff. But hey, what's up, Pratt? Hey, Pratt, you gotta excuse me. Pratt, where you been, brother? Good to have you back. So, Pratt, we got a fight. Ryan Garcia versus Tank. I'm excited. I'm definitely gonna try to be there to cover that fight. And it appears, of course, this is gonna be on pay-per-view. You good, bro? Ain't heard from you in a while. Glad to have you back, brother. But like I said, I'm excited. This fight is gonna be cool. I don't think it's gonna go the distance. Either Ryan. This is one of these fights you just almost guaranteed somebody getting knocked out. I got a feeling this gonna be the Hispanic guy, but you know, anything can happen. It's boxing. Ryan still ain't corrected that mistake he makes in his fights where he has his face sticking out. And I just think Tank is gonna catch him. I think Tank is gonna catch him flush with a hook. And I think Tank is gonna, but Ryan gonna have his moments in the fight. But if I was a gambling man, I probably would go with Tank. But anything can happen. I mean, it's actually a fight for nothing, to be honest with you. But you know, at the end of the day, you know what's gonna happen. So you know, may the best man win. But like I said, I'm excited about it. I have to admit I wasn't checking for it at first, but you know, now I'm on board with this. You know, anytime I can go to Las Vegas is always cool. So I'm gonna start looking at plane tickets, looking at hotel rooms or Airbnbs, and whatever direction I might go, and seeking I'll make it to this fight. So I'm not gonna cover this fight the whole weekend. The whole week. I'm not gonna cover it the whole week. Best case scenario, I get there probably Friday, the day of the weigh-in. They'll leave it at that, because Saturday there'll be plenty of work. I'll be able to get plenty of footage. It's really no need for me to, you know, cover this fight the whole week. You know, once I get there Friday afternoon, I'll be good. I'll be able to, it's going to be all different sorts of people there. You got to understand, Tank, he bring out the stuff. I hope this fight is at the MGM Grand. The reason why I hope it's at the MGM Grand, for those who don't know, the MGM Grand is like, it's really only two ways to get into the MGM Grand. You either can walk through the casino and walk through this hallway that'll take you to the arena, Or if you got seats down, if you got seats on the floor, then they have these doors that you can go through. So it's only, you know what I'm saying? It's not like T-Mobile, where T-Mobile got all these different exits. You know, MGM Grand, it's really only 2 ways to get into the MGM Grand. So in all likelihood, you're going to be able to get plenty of interviews, plenty of footage, and all that kind of stuff. So our hope is at the MGM Grand, because you really only got to stay in one. You really only got to stay in one spot, really, and you'll be able to catch people coming in and out. And a lot of them celebrities, even though they try to pretend like they don't want to be bothered, they like to be seen. They like for people to talk to them. They like to feel relevant and stuff. Even when they try to act like they don't want to be bothered, they like the fact that you even saying their name. So don't even fall for it. They like to be, you know what I'm saying? They like attention. Because if they didn't, they wouldn't. If they didn't, they would take basically the outdoor exit instead of walking through. I hope it's at T-Mobile. I hope it's at the MGM Grand. That's the arena I would rather cover this fight at, but it might be at T-Mobile. But I hope it's at the MGM Grand. But I can tell you now, that fight is gonna sell out. It's gonna sell out. It's gonna do. I don't know what type of pay-per-view numbers it's gonna do, because Rick Glazier released Tank's pay-per-view numbers. I'm not gonna say what they are, because if I say what they are, people gonna accuse me of hating and all that kind of junk, which I'm not. But I'm just not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna say what I heard the pay-per-view numbers are and see what the pay-per-view numbers is. Okay, so kudos to Adrian Broner, kudos to BLK Prime. They found a replacement pretty much overnight for Adrian Broner, which is Hank Lundy. At the end of the day, his opponent is an opponent for Adrian Broner at this stage in his career. Adrian Broner trying to get back in the groove. He trying to get back in the scheme of things. Adrian Broner hasn't fought in over a year, maybe 2 years almost. So Hank Lundy is a solid opponent for Adrian Broner. And it's good to see where Adrian Broner is right about now. So at the end of the day, this fight is going to take place in the ATL. So why not? At the end of the day, you're going to have, let's just keep it a buck. ATL is primarily a black city, and Adrian Broner sells tickets. Now, this venue that Adrian Broner is fighting at, it's a smaller venue. At capacity for boxing, it could hold around 5,000 and some change. So I expect this fight to sell out. I don't know when they're going to put the tickets on sale, but I expect this fight to do good. It's at a smaller venue. This venue is in the College Park, East Point area, and it's not too far from the airport. So basically, I can get in and get out. I can get in and get out. Because I can tell you one thing about Atlanta's airport, that Jackson Hatfield, 3 hours early, you may miss your plane. I'm telling you that right now. One is just the TSA, and then sometimes they just have, the Fed sometimes will just randomly pick somebody and they will go through their stuff, and that could hold you up to an hour. So like I said, you better get to that airport. Like I said, you better get to that airport at least 3 hours ahead of time before your flight leaves, because like I said, you may miss it. everybody complains about Jackson Hatfield. But like I said, I'm looking forward to covering that fight. This is like the second Adrian Broner fight I didn't cover. I think the last fight I covered was him versus Pacquiao. That was a while ago. So, you know, looking forward to going back to the ATL. But let me get back to Tank Davis. Well, I want to talk about Eddie Hearn's remarks towards Tank Davis. And also I'm going to talk about Timothy Bradley, you know, what he said in regards to Tank Davis. But I'm going to get to Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn was very disrespectful about, well, you know, Tank isn't very articulate, so, you know, he can't be the face of boxing and all that kind of stuff. He's a bad, all that kind of stuff, but he doesn't articulate himself very well. Well, you know, at the end of the day, every boxer ain't meant to be a Rhodes Scholar. Because at the end of the day, Tank is a prize fighter. You know? He's a prize fighter. That's what he do. He don't have to talk like, you know, I don't think he has to talk like he's some kind of school teacher or a college professor. At the end of the day, he fights for a living. That's what he does. He's a fighter. And he also compared him to Mike Tyson. And by the way, Mike Tyson articulates himself very well because Mike Tyson has a podcast called, I think it's called Hot Boxing. And Mike Tyson has had a variety of different guests on his show. Not just boxers. He's had everybody on his show. He's had basketball players. He's had rappers. He's had actors. He's had a variety of different people. And I'm subscribed to Mike Tyson taking this Hot Boxing. You know, I can't catch everybody because, you know, I'm a busy man. You know, I have to do my own stuff. I have to put out my own content. But Mike Tyson has always been very articulate. He's always spoke very well. So to compare him to Mike Tyson, that's inaccurate. Now, do I find what Eddie Hearn said about Tank Davis racial? I don't have enough proof to go that direction. But Eddie Hearn did say some stuff that kind of bothered me over the past, where you could kind of like have that question mark, the imaginary question mark above your head. But this particular remark don't have enough proof. I think Tank thought it was racially motivated, and Tank has every right to feel that way. But like I said, I don't have enough proof. But I'm always defend a brother. That's just how I'm built. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. And it wasn't necessary for Eddie Hearn to say something like that. And to be honest with you, it was just mean-spirited. You know? Now, we all know that Eddie Hearn more than likely isn't going to take back what he said. And we all know why that is. But there were people asking me, what did I think of Timothy Bradley basically going in on Tank Davis and saying that he hoped he get knocked out and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of people was mad about that. I'm going to say this much. I think Tim Bradley needs to understand certain things. And I think he does. And I think sometimes he goes beyond the call of duty. And I just think there's some things that you don't have to say, that you can keep to yourself. Now, if you want to root for Ryan Garcia and say that Ryan Garcia gonna win the fight, that's fine. But my thing is, and the issue I have with Tim Bradley is, okay, Tim, you gotta have that same energy, man. Are you mad at Are you just as mad at Dana White? Or are you just as furious at Sergey Kovalov? War Machine? You know, Edwin Valero? A couple of other people. So that's all I'm saying. You got to have the same energy. And I just didn't hear Tim Bradley going in on them dudes like how he did Tank. And he does have a right to his opinion. He can say what he want to say. I know Tim Bradley might be listening. I'm just saying, Tim, you know what's up, bro. You know, you are entitled to your opinion, but I wish you wouldn't go to the extreme. And I got to keep it 100. I have this belief, and this is my own belief. And if you catch my drift, I don't believe in tearing down, you know, I don't believe in tearing down somebody that looked like me. Just going beyond the call of duty to tear down somebody that looked like me in front of mixed company. That's just me. I've always felt that way, and I've always took that stance. And I have the right to. And like I said, I just gotta call it how I see it. You know, like I said, Tim Bradley is entitled to his opinion, but you know, if Tim Bradley sees me and he want to talk to me about it, I'll be more than happy to, you know, have a discussion with him about it. But I just got to keep it a buck. That's just how I feel. I'm not going to go in and just go beyond the call of duty to, you know, go in on Tim Bradley, because at the end of the day, I have a relationship with Top Rank. So, you know, I deal with Top Rank. I cover their events. So at the end of the day, you know, I got to be cool, because, you know, I can't go too deep in, because then at the end of the day, a lot of these boxers, they hold grudges. Then they'll try to tell people to ban you and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I don't even want to go in. I don't want to go, you know, too deep in on Tim Bradley, but I am expressing myself how I feel about that, and I have a right to express it. I just, you know what I'm saying, I had an issue with that. And I just wish Tim Bradley, you know, wouldn't do stuff like that. But like I said, he's entitled to his opinion, just like I'm entitled to mine. Me, I wouldn't do it. That's just how I am. And I know that I know Tim Bradley been basically going in on the big fish. You know, saying, hey man, here we go again. All right, so listen, you guys. They're saying that, okay, listen. The proof is in the pudding, you guys. Now, you're hearing that Errol Spence may push his fight with Thurman back a month till around May, or maybe even June. Which, why even fight Keith Thurman when you can make the other fight that we all want to see? What is the use of this? What is the use of this? If you're gonna push the fight back till May, you might as well, like, once again, you might as well revisit this Terrence Crawford thing. Because I need somebody to explain to me, did that make any kind of sense? If you gonna push this fight back, till May or June, why even bother fighting Keith Thurman? You know, that's just real talk. Why even bother when you could just start renegotiating? So this is why you question the antics of, you know, the other side of the street. See, like I said, man, I ain't these other dudes, man, and I gotta keep putting emphasis on this, man. I'm not these other dudes, man, where I try to fake it till I make it or put out baloney, man. These dudes be putting out so much baloney content to where it's on that frying pan, and it's you know, and it's starting to get, you know how you cook that bologna and it's starting to get that baloney sandwiches for videos, because they put out baloney, and that's just real talk. So let's talk about this contract, actual contract that we saw. Now keep in mind, I talked about this a while back when you had these goofball content creators talking about, oh, Terrence Crawford needs to sign a contract, and I kept saying, what contract? Can we see this contract that you supposed to had signed back in July, which was cap? As you can see, Ryan Garcia showed a copy of an actual contract. Now, I guess he posted on his Twitter or Instagram him signing the contract because it appears the fight is official. Now, keep in mind, Shakur Stevenson posted himself signing the contract to fight Valdez, and Valdez did the same. Floyd Mayweather posted pictures of him signing the contract to fight Manny Pacquiao, and vice versa for Manny Pacquiao. They sure wasn't no picture of the big fish signing his contract. But you know, he put that out there, and then his cult-like following would say, yeah, Errol Spence signed the contract. Once again, they look stupid. And you know who was the main people pushing that narrative? You know, the least attorney and a couple of other people. And I kept saying, okay, if you got a contract, let's see this contract. Let's see what's on this contract. Because keep in mind, everybody else saying they saw the contract. No, Nito Donaires' wife seen that, saw the contract. Other people in Philadelphia seen this contract. But the very one that's supposed to be signing the contract, he didn't see a contract. So I'm trying to figure out, everybody but Terrence Crawford saw a contract. But this is what I was trying to tell you dudes. Once again, dropping the mic on these dudes. Like, it's easy to expose these dudes. We sent them a revised contract. Like, what revised contract, homeboy? You already know you don't, we already know you don't have the authority to negotiate a contract. So I'm just keeping it a buck. That was cap. The only person that can send a revised contract is Al Heyman. You can't even be present at your own negotiations. But then you talking about you was blindsided. You wasn't blindsided because at the end of the day, you knew who you was fighting all along, which was Keith Thurman. Like I said before, dude ain't shown me that he really want that Terrence Crawford fight. Like I said, man, if you really want that fight, man, you won't even go to his fights and confront him. But like I said, you called Manny Pacquiao in the ring. You called him in the ring, talking about it'd be an honor to fight him. But you went to Terrence Crawford versus Sean Porter, walked out of there. We all thinking, but then you making it known, oh, I'm going to be at the fight. Oh, I'm going to the Terrence Crawford fight. We thinking after the fight over, you go get in the ring and say, let's make the fight. Then Terrence Crawford fights again in December. Once again, you have a chance to go to Omaha and confront this dude and say, let's make a fight. But you choose to do whatever you did, and you ended up getting into some kind of, some kind of car crash, like your third one or something. So it's like, okay, like, bro, I don't know. Seeing is believing. see it is believing. A fight of this magnitude, you need to be trying to, pre-promote this fight. Keep in mind, Floyd Mayweather, he confronted Manny Pacquiao at the Miami Heat game and said, hey man, all right, it's time. Let's get a deal did. Let's make this fight. They had an actual sit down. They had an actual negotiation. The fight got made within I think 3 weeks. Even though the build up to this fight took about 5 years, you was hearing all these different things why the fight couldn't happen, should have happened, wouldn't happen, but eventually it did happen. And like I said before, when it was official, Floyd showed himself signing the contract. So I wonder what cap these dudes gonna come with now, what excuse they gonna make now. Because all you hear is these goofballs, these Bieber and Butthead, content creators talking about that Terrence Crawford should have signed a contract that never existed, that was never sent to him. And now we know. Because like I said before, homeboy can post every other thing. I mean, the big fish can post every other thing. So why didn't he say, or why didn't he post a picture of, here's the contract we about to send Terrence Crawford. This is what's in the contract. But you don't even know how much you was gonna pay the man. You don't even know what was the stipulations of the contract. You didn't even know where the fight was going to take place at. You didn't know what date it was. So, once again, then you sitting up talking about, oh, well, we wanted to have the fight in January of 2023. Well, okay, well, once again, Terrence Crawford is available. Why not just try to make this fight right now? Nothing in the way. Y'all got to start using common sense. Terrence Crawford is a promotional free agent. We all know Ryan Garcia is with Golden Boy. But they found a way to make this fight happen. I'm going to be honest with you. I give Tate credit. I give Stephen S. credit, because I think if Tank was still with Mayweather Promotions, I don't think this fight would have got made. But I give Tank credit. He wanted this fight. Now, at the end of the day, whoever wins this fight, they get full credit. They get full credit. I'm going to give these dudes full credit because the fight got did. So you got to put 2 and 2 together. Here you have Terrence Crawford, a promotional free agent, but they still can't offer this dude a deal. And like I said before, the way they treated Terrence Crawford, I would have to question, should I ever do business with them the way they treated me? And then at the end of the day, you can just tell it's like some kind of, it's sort of like, I don't know, sort of like a gang premise almost. How everybody all of a sudden to start talking about Terrence Crawford, but that's all they do is talk about Terrence Crawford. Because Terrence Crawford stay in these dudes' mouth. But at the end of the day, they sure don't want to find a way to make this fight. You have to put 2 and 2 together. You have to have common sense. He's been a promotional free agent for over a year. He's available. He's available. Why not try now? Why even waste your time bothering with Keith Thurman? Why? What reason do you have to fight Keith Thurman if Terrence Crawford is available? And he's available. But as I said before, Terrence Crawford ain't never been part of their plan. and he had the right to move on. He had the right to go fight somebody else. And I want to say something, man. Some of y'all be tripping me out. Some of y'all really be tripping me out because I don't understand why y'all have it in for BLK Prime, like you want fights to fall through. And when people thought that Adrian Broner wasn't gonna have a opponent for February 25th, you had a lot of people that was celebrating. Why do you not want Adrian Broner or Terrence Crawford to move on and have fights? I'm just saying, there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes with the other side of the street. I just don't understand how people have all this vitriol and this hatred for BLK Prime and got an issue with Terrence Crawford, like exploring his options. And once again, what part of free agents you don't understand? So Terrence Crawford is supposed to continue to put his career on hold and be stalled out by them. They've been stalling this man for years. And that's just the fact. And no matter how much you listen to these cornball channels, because they cornballs, they can't present facts, they make up stuff. And like I said, it's easy to poke holes in everything they say. These dudes keep Terrence Crawford in their mouth. You know, they keep Terrence Crawford in their mouth. And like I said before, they done made Terrence Crawford's popularity skyrocket. That's just the honest to God truth. They made his popularity skyrocket. And I'm gonna say something else about the current state of pay-per-view. People are worried about streaming and all this kind of stuff. They're gonna have to lower the price of pay-per-view, and let's just keep it a buck. They're gonna have to go back down to like maybe making these fights $50-$60, because this $79-$80 stuff, ain't nobody gonna pay for that. And in this economy right now, that's not gonna fly. I think if you go down to like $49, like how pay-per-view was, like, you know, about 10 years ago, I think you'll have the opportunity possibly to sell more pay-per-views. Because I mean, if you sell $1 million at $49 a piece, it's still profitable. Because you hearing these numbers like 50, 60,000, I think that's just too high right now. Nobody just don't have $80, or they even want to pay $80 for a pay-per-view, when they basically, if they want, they can just, you know, do what they got to do. People ain't gonna pay for stuff because it's the right thing to do. Says, when do people have morals and standards? That's been proven time and time again. I think if they lower it, the pay-per-views, if they go back down to like $49, maybe even $60, I think they'll sell more pay-per-views. And they're going to have to get off their high horse and just keep it a buck. That's what they need to do. For real. But anyway, appreciate y'all tapping in. This your boy Town Biz. I'm out.